Another live Surge Trader market session. Happy Tuesday. For those who are returning, as you know, welcome back, welcome back. For those who have not been here, my name is Lex. I am recently in new partnership with Surge Trader. I do own my own educational investment company, so if you're interested at all, link is in the bio, all that good stuff. But it is Tuesday, so for those who don't know, this isn't my favorite trading day of the week. I tend to wait until like Tuesday evening into like Friday morning is kind of my sweet spot. But I will tell you that I do love to start these calls off with looking at the news. I always like to look at the news, see what news releases are coming, and then I'll open up the charts and I'll give you guys a breakdown when we're in there. But most importantly, guys, is don't rush anything. Depending on your trading style, I am more of a higher time frame trader, so I like to get into the 4 hour, and then I like to scale down into the 1 hour time frame to see if I can get us some entries. So if nothing is there, nothing is there, and it's very simple for me. Like if I have to come into these markets and I have to overly strain and overly think and overly analyze and try to put my confirmations on the screen, then the odds are that they're probably not there. So what I do want to keep in mind moving forward, guys, is that you don't have to force a trade. Last week I called out two beautiful trades on the live. I think I called it out Tuesday on the live stream, and then Wednesday it was still playing out, and I wish I got one more call in that week so we could review. But I figured since it is a little earlier in the week, I'm not going to do as much hardcore analysis. I'll do a little bit, but I do want to recap the trade setup. So guys, I've been doing this since about probably August 28th. Time is flying. We're almost to November. If you don't feel like you're progressing in your trading, you have to take a step back and you have to ask yourself why. So I always believe this. I don't believe it's a matter of more education, more technicals, more patterns, more indicators. It's always going to come back and to your psychology, right? It's always going to amplify your weaknesses, your emotional intelligence weaknesses, your psychological weaknesses. So if you don't feel like you're progressing as a trader, and I'm going to put a disclaimer on, and I don't mean progressing in the sense of just like not making money, because you can progress in trading and not make any money, right? Because I can lose yesterday and I can learn from what I lost from, right? And I could turn around and come today and not make any money either, right? And I could lose again, but there's another lesson. So traders, I've been in this 5 years, every single day, never taken a day off of this stuff. I love this stuff. But I will tell you something that I had to really remind myself, because there's moments where you just feel stuck, right? There's moments where you just feel like you're in quicksand and you can't figure out a way to get this to work. You look around and it looks like people are making this work. You're on Instagram following your favorite influencers and all this looks so easy. In reality, this skill set is not the easiest skill set, right? It can give you millions of dollars at the touch of your phone. So with that in mind, you have to be able to see that even through the lessons and the losses and the trials and the uphill climb and the obstacle and the blowing the accounts and having to refund the account, blowing the audition, buying a new audition, the only way those things really are beneficial and really matter to you and really are going to place you in a position to succeed is if you look back in time at what you did and you take out the things that do not make you a successful trader. So if I'm just doing the same thing over and over leveraging, no risk management, entering at the weird times of the day, entering on Sunday night, forcing trades, trading on the 5 minute, and I'm a 4 hour trader, things like that. If you're still doing those over and over and over, right, and you're just in the cycle, that is why. My favorite quote is from Albert Einstein, and he says, insanity is trying to get different results doing the same thing over and over. And I'm going to tell you guys, after being in this for 5 years and I've had days where I've made $25,000 in a day, and the next day, early in my journey, I blew it and I was left with like $1,000 left over. I've been through all of this, right? And so my advice to you, new traders, my advice to you trying to become profitable traders is that, number one, you get a trading journal, all right? You must have a trading journal. So anytime you trade, you must look back in time and say, okay, what did I do? And then you don't just write in your journal and you never look at it again, right? Like you write in your journal, and then the following week, before the markets even start opening, you open up that journal and you say to yourself, okay, these are the things I want to take into this week, and these are the things I want to leave in last week, right? Because if I just do the same thing over and over, trading is going to be miserable. If you're only doing this because you just want to get rich, you're going to be miserable. We do trade because we understand the dollar significance here, but if that is why, the only reason why you're trying to make this work, you're gonna fall out of love with it really quickly. It's gonna dent your psychology. This has to be one of those things where even if you're passionate about it, you got to find a way to stay objective, right? So it's like, as much as I love this thing, as much as I can go spend money on the weekends and then come back in here and make it back, I got to make sure my ego doesn't go over my head, and I got to make sure that I never get too low in a loss, right? So I got to be kind of emotionless. I got to be detached from the outcome. I got to remain objective. All of these things are psychological factors that go into being a successful trader. You're going to see that it's so easy to plot points on the screen. It's so easy to place a line across the screen. That stuff's easy. That stuff's boring. Where you're really going to find out about yourself is through your psychological disciplines. All right. So you heard me mention the trading journal. All right. And that's for reflecting. The next thing I want to talk about is a trading plan, guys. And I have mine right here. I did want to just show you guys what that looks like. And it's, it's a couple pages. It's a couple pages of my trading plan. And what this does is it keeps me in order. Like, the moment I'm getting ready to slip, because guys, it's like I could do this for 10 years and I'm still going to be a dummy, right? Like, I'm still going to come in here and just do things that were unconventional, not in my repertoire. Like, what am I doing, right? Like, and there's a lesson in that. I'll take it. But this right here keeps me completely centered in my flow state when I'm trying to figure out what my high probability setup looks like. So I have a components of a trading plan: when to enter a trade, when to exit a trade, where do I place my stop losses, what is my trade management. So if you've been on these calls, you've heard me say risk management and you've heard me say trade management. Trade management is how you analyze and define your risk. Risk management is how you analyze and define your risk before you trade. So if I'm willing to lose $100, I've defined my risk. The next step in that is trade management. So once I'm in the trade, where do I want to get out? When do I want to get out? What does price action tell me that makes me want to get out or makes me want to hold? When do I want to move break even? For me, I like to go about 25, 30 pips and then I move break even, because if price comes back to my entry, it's just allowing me more time to analyze the market, right? I want to protect my capital. I have position sizing. I have what to trade. And notice, guys, those are all technical aspects of my trading, right? But also in here, I have things to ask yourself. How do I feel today? What are my emotions telling me? What is this emotion based on? Like, let's say I'm uptight, right? I'm just moody. Well, did I go to bed at 2 a.m. last night, right? All of these things play a factor. And if you're somebody who tends to shy away and deflect the weaknesses that you possess, then trading is going to be really difficult. But if you're somebody who can build a really beautiful relationship with your weaknesses in the market, that is going to be the difference between somebody who's profitable and not profitable. And guys, the sad reality is that in trading, only 1 out of 10 people are profitable. And you have to ask yourself why. I've done a lot of research, I've read a lot of books, but why are only 1% of the people profitable? It's because they don't take this stuff serious, guys. They don't take their emotional intelligence. They don't take their habits and their disciplines and their patterns. It is not about candlesticks. That stuff is so easy. Like I said, I've made $25,000 in a day through technicals, right? And then the next day, due to weak psychology, I blew 24,000 of it, right? So if you're not willing to open yourself up to exposing those things of yourself that you have to improve, trading is going to be really, really difficult. But if you're willing to say, okay, I'm disgusted with my over leveraging, I'm disgusted with my lack of risk, I'm disgusted with not taking my process serious, then trading, it's just going to be a cycle. But if you can figure out a way to get into the depths of the parts of you don't always love, that might show up in your day-to-day, in your relationships, you're going to be a really good trader. And that's one thing I noticed that kind of helped me turn the corner. I stopped focusing on dollar value. I stopped focusing on what other traders are doing. To be honest, if anybody follows me on Instagram, if you go on my following, who am I following? My follower, who I'm following, you'll see I don't follow any traders except for one, and that is my mentor. That really helped me along. Other than that, I don't care that Q Banks made 500,000. I don't care that FX Alex G flipped 100 to 300,000 and then blew the whole 300,000. I don't care about that. All right, I don't care. All I care is about, what is Lex doing today? What is Lex doing in the market? What am I doing? All right, don't compare your 1-year journey to my 5-year or to Q Bank's 10 years. It's just not realistic. Who cares? Block it out. I won't curse on this live stream. I'll save that for my private platform. But it's really like F what everybody else is doing. Right now, you got to have the tunnel vision. If you're not profitable, you got to have the tunnel vision to lock in on yourself and ask yourself, where do I need to improve? For a lot of people, it's the same thing. It's just risk management. You know, you lose and then you get greedy and you up your risk trying to get it back and then some, right? Like you're like in this push-pull game with your emotions. But the moment you master your emotional intelligence in this market, you're gonna be pretty cool. So it's kind of wavy how it works. So just make sure that you're really keen to your self-development in the market, all right? It's not about patterns, and we all teach the same stuff here. But let's dive in. I wanted to open that up, and I wanted to show you the emphasis of having this. I printed this out, and this goes with me. I didn't trade yesterday. I haven't even traded today. I probably won't take a trade till Wednesday, Thursday. But this will be with me every single day because this is going to help me decide whether or not I'm getting in the market or I'm not getting in the market. If I don't have this, I can't remember all this, guys. Like, I don't care who you are. You can't remember everything in this market. There's a lot of moving components that we got to kind of like centralize and consolidate into one trading system. So, guys, dial in on your emotional intelligence. Read books on your emotional intelligence. Watch YouTube video on emotional intelligence. There's no reason why you should lack it in 2023. We have resources and an abundance of knowledge everywhere we look. So really take the time. If you have plans this weekend to go party, don't party. Go sit at home and watch YouTube videos on how to master your emotional intelligence in this market, right? There's sacrifices that have to really go on. And, you know, I never open up these calls with this much just talking, and I usually have the charts up by now, but I think it's so important that I give you guys like a real, like, personable connection to like what it's like to be a profitable trader and what it's like to get there. It's not just you pick this up and next week you're profitable. That's not what it is. You have to learn a new language, you have to learn new softwares, you have to learn new apps on your phone. There's a lot that goes into this. So guys, always take your discipline serious. I mean, how you do something is how you do everything. If I'm only motivated on these 9 a.m. calls, but then when I go do my contract works and software engineering and I'm not motivated, then I'm just going to build a bad habit. So I don't care if you work at a grocery store, you work at Publix, or you work at, you know, FedEx warehouse. Be great at it. Like, just develop the habit of, you know, I'm going to put this box over here better than this person put the box. Like, care about yourself like that to really maximize your habits and all that good stuff, because guys, I promise you it'll show up everywhere. So make sure you're doing your due diligence. But guys, again, I've been here since August 28th. I've been with Surge for a while, but didn't have the official partnership. So I'm super pumped, and there's opportunity to get paid. I had somebody, I don't want to butcher your name, so I'll leave it out. But he messaged me last week and he said, I passed my 100K audition with your odd Swiss franc call out. And that's why we do these things, guys. I'm here to drop gems. I'm here to instill confidence. I'm here to give you guys some free analysis. And then, you know, everything else outside of that is on you. You know, you can't just show up to practice and be great. You got to practice and then go to extra practices, right? So it takes time. But let's jump into news. Let me pull up Forex Factory, guys. Forex Factory is where I check all my news events. I'll give you guys a quick rundown. I don't want to take too long on this because it's redundant, it's repetitive, and I've gone over this so much. So do watch live streams back, guys. There's always gems you can pull out of it. So Forex Factory is the platform I use to look at news events. Guys, I really don't care about what's in the news, the folder. Structure is everything in the market. So what my structure on my charts is telling me is what I go with. All this does, though, is like, hey, okay, I got 9:45 a.m. news at USD. Let's say I'm trading odd USD, right? Well, that could be, you know, inclination that I could get movement out of my pairs. So I do want to know what currency pairs have red folders, because those are usually your high impact. I'm sure you guys get it: yellow, orange, red, right? Orange, medium, yellow, low. But 9:45 a.m. looks like it's high impact. Maybe I can get some movement on AUD USD and ZD USD. So all the things are important to keep in mind. But looks like we got 9:45 and we got 8:30 p.m. odd news. So that's about it. I'm on tomorrow with you guys, so I won't go over news tomorrow. But I'll focus here. So we got 9:45 a.m. Eastern for me, 8:30 p.m. Odd as well. So could be some good stuff there, guys. Let's go ahead and hop in the charts. I'm gonna share my screen, and you know, I went through these pairs before I even got on with you guys, and let me tell you, not the prettiest. I didn't love it. You know, I didn't love what I was seeing. Still early in the week, but hey, more data, the better. I don't like to predict, guys. I like to react. You know, if I gotta wait for more data, then I have an abundance of data to take a trade versus I'm trying to be early, predict that it's gonna go that way. If you guys have been trading for any amount of time, you know that this market is unpredictable and you do not get to dictate which direction this market goes. So make sure you're open to all possibilities. But as you guys know, I always like to start with the DXY. Why? It's the dollar index and it has a lot of correlating pairs. So I got positively correlating pairs that move with it, and I have negatively correlated pairs that move against it. The pairs that move against it, so if the dollar index is going up, your AUD USD, Euro USD, NZD USD, GBP USD will go down. Pairs that move with it, so if DXY dollar index is going up, then I'm gonna have my USD CAD go up, I'm gonna have my USD Swiss franc go up. Very, very simple concept. So here it is, I got my new high. As you guys know, this is my last line of defense, meaning I don't wanna see price trade beneath here in order for me to maintain my bullish structure, right? This is the previous high responsible for the newest high. You can see we came to that level, bounced once, didn't really do anything, right? We couldn't push up into these highs, came back to this level, bounced twice with this beautiful bullish engulfing. So this is where I have to wait because this is tricky, right? This looks like a low, and then this kind of is looking like a lower low for me, right? I gotta be wary of this. So what do? Nothing. I just wait, guys. I literally just wait for data and detail. So in order for price to push up and remain bullish, yes, we see this reaction, but we want to see it continue to climb. If not, could come here, and we could push down like this. So two options here. But at the moment, I gotta wait. This is like in between, and this is why I don't always take trades on Tuesday, because it's like Tuesday it sets up, and then Wednesday it's like I just got the confirmation to strike. So that's my dollar index right now. I don't have anything to say other than we are creating new highs until we break beneath this level and create another new low. Then as of right now, DXY is still bullish. And you can see I don't have my flags on here because there's not a lot going on. I am going to go to AUD Swiss franc, and I am going to go to GBP AUD from the callouts last week, but that's going to be a little more of a breakdown. But the only trade I really want to actually call attention to as of Tuesday, right? Tomorrow we're going to analyze again and see if there's something. But for right now, and my job is to set you guys up for success. So I'm not just going to throw out trades because, you know, we need it. We don't need anything. If there's no trades, there's no trades. Like if I don't have anything to give you guys, there's nothing to give you guys. And you guys get to go practice and study and all that good stuff. So, you know, don't try to create something that's not there. If it's just not there, it's not there. Like feel nothing towards this market. It's like, all right, I lost, cool. If I win, cool. I'm not, oh, like last week was a $4,300 week for me. I'm not like, yeah, 4,300, yeah, like now let's go 9,000 this week. I'm like, okay, 4,300, cool, because I understand I can mess up, I can get out of my disciplines if I don't stay tight, and I could lose. I've lost, guys, I've lost a lot of money very quickly, not having good risk, right, early in my career. But I made 4,300. Guess what this week will look like? I'll take 1,000 of that, so I'm left with 3,300. I'll take 1,000 of that profit, bring it into this week, and that's what I'll risk. So whatever my trades are, I'm probably going to risk $1,000 on my trade, $500 to $1,000 on this week's trade setup. But keep that in mind that it's to make $4,000, $5,000. Okay, so it's not just risk 1,000 and only make 800. That's not the way I trade. I usually get a 1 to 2 plus, easy. So I take what I made. I don't take all of it though. I want to save some of my principal and add it to my balance. Excuse me. I want to save some of my equity and add it to my balance, right? So now take 1,000, risk it over here, and I'm still left with 3,300 no matter the outcome this week. So I've protected my capital, and that's how you keep it alive, right? So if you're in those auditions, guys, and you're in those funded accounts and you're trying to figure this thing out, if I made 1,000 on a $50,000 account, next week I'm not going to risk 1,000. I might risk 200 of it so I can keep 800 in the equity. So just a little tip there. But guys, you don't really know this stuff until you've gone through everything. This is all trial and error, so please listen to me. I know we're human and we just want to do what we want to do, even if somebody tells us, but trust me, this is why I teach. You know, I'm here to expedite and keep you guys from doing the dumb things I've done. I've done the dumbest things in this market. It's crazy I'm still here today, but when you realize the power and the freedom and the resource available within this market, you don't put it down. So, textbook. There's my 4-hour last line of defense. Hold on, I gotta change that. That's 1 hour. Got a little. But that was a trade setup that I actually caught 2 weeks ago on the screen. So that was actually very beautiful. But that's not why we're here. But that was the trade. Take it off. So as you guys can see, now we've got this new high in here. All right. So I'm going to be looking for price. But guys, it's not just a trade setup because structure is there, right? I have order flow confirmations that really piece this together. So half of my confirmations are here, new high. Actually, not even half. Only one is new high. I'm looking for price to pull back in here. and go higher. As long as we can stay above this low here and maintain structure, we'll have a trade set up. But you can see we're really premature and really early into this market and into the week. So I'm going to give this some more time to develop. But right now, this is looking beautiful. I like that we're getting this pullback right here. I'll slap my EMAs on. Maybe we can drop back into my 50 EMA, tap back into the previous higher high that was broken. And then as long as we stay above here, we can maintain our trade, and we can even take this thing up to these levels next. So this is my favorite one. This is probably what I'll be focused on all week because I really want this one to play out, and it just looks really good. So your CAD is something to keep your eyes out for, and that's really the only setup I have to give you guys today. Just not a lot. And guys, you're gonna learn that if there's nothing, there's nothing. Just leave it at that. Just write it off. Don't have FOMO. I feel like we tend to think that if like progress equates to busyness. Like we don't have to be busy to make progress, because I always say direction is more important than speed. So I would rather sit out on a trade if it's not ready than take thousands and thousands of trades until eventually I'm profitable, right? I just want to just ease into this thing, guys. And like even yesterday, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to trade. Like last week was good. Like I love this market. And then I had to sit to myself yesterday and be like, okay, there's nothing. I'm just closing this. And I only look for 30 minutes. I don't stare at this chart, guys. But there was nothing for me, so I just closed it. And it's like I want to glance at the market later, and I'm like, there's nothing. Nothing changed from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So learn how to detach. Don't stare at this thing when you're in trades. Don't stare at your profit screen. Set your stop loss and trust. If you're analyzing, don't analyze from MT4 on your phone. Either analyze from, as you can see at the, I don't know if you guys can see this actually, MT5 at the bottom on the desktop version, or analyze off TradingView. Do not make decisions off of your MT5 or your MT4 on your phone. But let's talk about this really beautiful trade setup that was called out last week, because this was really sweet, guys. So I'm gonna clear this data right here. I'm gonna reorganize the chart just exactly how it was last week. Perfect. So this is what we had last week, guys. This is what we had last week. So we had this beautiful new low that was printed, broke this previous new low. So I marked my last line of defense. This was the lower high responsible for this new low. So now I understand that I don't want to see price trade back above this high in order to maintain this bearish market. So what am I looking for? So anytime, so let's say this is 4-hour low, 4-hour lower high, 4-hour low. Now let's say I drop into the 1-hour time frame. I'm gonna make this a yellow. All right, so let's say I drop into the 1-hour time frame. So this 4-hour structure is my 4-hour structure. Now this 1 hour, I'm gonna hop into lower time frames, and we're gonna watch this thing kind of pull back and dance, right? So we're pulling back. This is technically my last line of defense. So I'm setting it up same way, guys. So this is my last line of defense, right? And this was my pullback. I'm looking to get back to this low, right? Because I have bearish confirmation on my screen. I'm looking to get back to this low. So what do I need to see happen in order to get back to the low? If I'm ever selling, guys, I need to see support breaking, turning to resistance. Notice how support turned to resistance and you had an entry here. Support turned to resistance and you had an entry here. Support turned to resistance and you had an entry here. That's exactly what we're looking for in odd Swiss franc, and that's exactly what we got. So while this is the 4-hour, I think I took this trade, analyzed it off the 4-hour, and then I think I hopped out into like the 30-minute. But I'll do it off the 1 hour. So you can see we're in this pullback. I no longer need to be zoomed out, focused on all this price action because I have all my data here, right? So this was the pullback, high, higher, low, high, higher, low, high, higher, low, high, and then we break support. There's that support level that was broken right here, right? We broke support. I put an entry right literally on that break, called this out, and you can see, guys, just like I drew, literally, like just like I drew. There's the break. Look, break. Here's the touch. All right, so there it is. There's your scale in. First entry, second entry. You had 3 entries to take this trade. Absolutely played out beautifully. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, guys. This was just an easy trade setup. And it came with a lot of money. So let me let this print really quickly. All right, let me let this print really quickly. All right, so now we're here. So now I'm going to rearrange, and I might actually call this one out too because I like it. Let's just keep stalking data. So there's my new 4-hour last line of defense. All right, and I'm going to take this off. I don't want to get us all confused, guys. So here we are. Now, this is my last line of defense. I don't want to see price trade back above here. Until then, I'll wait for some more supports to break to take this to the downside. So I'm going to wait for price to kind of find resistance and then I'm aiming to get back to this low right here. So odd Swiss franc and EuroCAD were our call outs this week so far. But odd Swiss franc, last week, guys, I called this right on the live. We could have probably taken it together. 117 pips last week. So one thing about flex trading is, on average, the week before we caught 173 pips, and then last week we caught 260 pips. So huge week in the market. And this was my last trade, I believe. Where are you? Where's GBP odd? All right, and this was it. So guys, I called GBP odd from here, and you can see that was the new high. This was my last line of defense. I didn't want to see price break beneath it, and then now I have my internal breaks. So I rejected here beautifully, pushed up, and then I hit my TP1. So guys, from this call out, and you can, what I love about this and what I love about, defining the real mentors from the fake mentors are that real mentors don't just teach. Real mentors don't give signals. I don't believe in signals. We give analysis, right? But not only do we give analysis, we're doing it in front of people who can hold us accountable. So you can go back to my live stream last Tuesday and you can see where I called this out for you guys. And you can come back now and say, oh my God, like she's not faking this. This is legit. We have the receipts. It's all about receipts, guys. Real mentors will show you analysis, also show you them taking the trade. I could pull it up and show you my GBP odd trade. And that's the difference. So here it is, guys. If you want to fact check this, because this is real, this is real life. You have an opportunity on these calls to make 240 pips in a week. So all I'm saying is check the receipts. This call out was there and it was beautiful. But that's basically all I'm going to say about it. It's wonky right now, so I looked away from odd. I already hit the TPs, and that's it. So odd Swiss franc, guys, and EuroCAD are my focus for this week. Beautiful structure. So guys, with that being said, I do have some meetings I have to attend to here in just a couple of minutes, but I love starting off with this 9 a.m. Session. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Link is in the bio to my website, so you can shop my packages. Also, my Instagram should be in the bio. Just dropped some really cool videos. Lots more to come, guys. And thanks for joining, and thanks for getting on this call, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, or hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys later. Peace.